Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with Brecher Trading. Night of the NDX all-time highs. Like I said, I'm inspired by Wild Wild West. I still watch it on TV, but my best friend from Dothan, Alabama, and I used to watch it all the time. I love doing the fonts of the Wild Wild West. Today is March 9th, the Brecher Trading Free Friday video on a day when the NDX just kept motoring just like it's done for a long time in here. So to let you know right now what's going on, you have the ESs with 2 hours ago up 40 in here. And the reason I got on early is I wanted to go over correlations and I want to show you what happened last time there were tariffs. I think it's very interesting in here. But the first thing I want you to realize is Brecher Trading finally has a trial. $5 for 10 days. That $5 gets you all of this. The morning ideas, I put at least 10 charts in the morning. Real-time chat room, I'm on from 9 to 10 a.m. to 3 to 4, but I jump on the chat all day. I'm monitoring it all the day. So just keep that in mind in there. And if all heck breaks loose, I get on. Real active forum, StockTwits sentiment table, I post here before I post anywhere else. Videos. I do a nightly video like you're hearing now, but a lot more in depth. I also do a learning center where I do swing trade videos. In special events, I did an Ask Me Anything this week. In fact, let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's our videos. I like doing fun templates in here. And you'll see we have learning videos, nightly videos, and then over the weekend for people that can't be with us all day, I do swing trade videos. A lot of these have worked amazing. Last week was all about scanning for Russell buy ideas, and all of them worked spectacular. So it's really exciting when that happens. Special events, this was an Ask Me Anything. We had on Wednesday, March 22nd, we had from 7 o'clock to 7:30. I then put it in here, and as you see on here, it was 55 minutes. It wasn't 30 minutes. So I'll go over as long as anybody has questions for me. To let you know in here, you go back to Brecher Trading, and I want you to realize that for $97, you get all this. So you get, for the trial, you get everything in here. If you do the basic, you don't get the real-time chat. And I'm telling you, we were 6 for 6 this morning on ideas on the opening. I mean, that paid for some people's subscription for the whole year, they told me. Very exciting in here. So let's go over what I think is going on with the overall market in here. First thing in here, everything I've been teaching is about correlations. Correlations and stop orders. But the first thing is a general idea of the market in here. As you're going to see, if you go and put the ESs on the left on a 4-hour chart, and you put the NASDAQ on the right on a 4-hour chart, usually they follow each other somewhat. So you're going to see on here the NASDAQ got above this zone. When the NASDAQ got above this zone, I'm like, you just can't be short the ESs yet. I mean, maybe later, but we don't have the divergences. What I want to show you is what happened last time there were tariffs. Now, this is very interesting in here. All I'm saying is when the NASDAQ's exploding, you're not going to go down. That's what I'm saying. But go back to 2002 when Bush did tariffs. You're going to find this fascinating. March 4th, that's when he did the tariffs. The market ended with a doji that week. Then the SPX proceeded to sell off over 30%. Just keep this in mind right here. Look at the bottom of your screen between March 4th and March 11th. See those little shaded down here? I just can't highlight it when I'm doing, oh, I can't. March 4th, right there. Now go and put the IWM in here. And go back to 2001. Now, 2002. Now, I'm not making any judgment call of whether you like tariffs, don't like tariffs, you don't like the administration, whatever. I don't care about all that. I care about price and making my clients money. And that's all I'm going on. Is history going to repeat itself? Believe it or not, the Russell went up on March 4th. Does that sound familiar? On the announcement of the tariffs, the Russell went up. Went up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more weeks. Then finished with a long-legged doji and proceeded to sell off 30%. How about the NASDAQ? You have to use the NDX. A lot of times this doesn't work. What did the NDX do back then? I'm glad you asked. Go back in here and go to 2002. And believe it or not, the NDX went up right here, March 4th. It went up on February 25th and March 4th. It didn't start going down for about a week after. So what happened in here is it's all about perception. And the perception was that just like last week, I recommended to everybody the anti-tariff trades. Go and buy the biotech stocks. We were buying ALXN like under 117. Look at the bull flag on an hourly chart. That's all you care about is price. We were buying the anti-tariff stocks, the ones that weren't going to be affected like biotechs. But the point in here is that that's what happened in 2002. The Russell went up, the NASDAQ went up because the perception was tariffs would do nothing to hurt growth stocks. The problem was about 3 weeks later, economists came out and said tariffs are going to hurt the GDP. All of a sudden, everybody got out of the growth stocks at the same time. Remember, the NASDAQ and the Russell are composed mainly of growth stocks. That's why right now you're getting the ESs here having a divergence. And I'm going to put the NQ on the right on a daily. Look at the NDX, the NASDAQ at a new high. And on the left, you have the ESs. That's because there are a lot of people that think the ESs have more stocks in it that could be affected adversely by tariffs. This is where the line in the sand is. That is called a dark cloud cover. See that? The NASDAQ is blown through it while this is still under it. So a lot of people are watching to see, is the NASDAQ going to pull this up and it achieves, so to speak, escape mentality, escape velocity, sort of like going into space and getting past the gravitational pull? Or is this going to start settling down on the right and this is just going to fail? And I don't have the answer yet. And that's why right now I'm being very careful about the ESs and we're doing more short-term trades. When I do the swing trade video tonight for subscribers, I got to tell you, usually when I see this, the stocks that haven't gone up are the small Russell stocks. Because if something didn't go up today, it ain't going up. I mean, that's the way I look at it. But the smaller stocks sometimes have a delayed reaction. So we'll be looking at things like that. How about the Russell? As you see, the Russell is attempting a new high. When it was down here on the far right, I was bullish on it because it had diverged from the NASDAQ. In fact, we were talking about buying the Russell, shorting the NASDAQ, and it worked beautifully in there. So just keep in mind, we'll look at futures, we'll look at everything. And to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, it's not just trading stocks or options, I was showing wheat. And I was showing wheat and corn that on FinViz, which is a free site, the speculators are the most long I've seen them in a long time. I even posted that on social media. And sure enough, those stocks are getting killed. Like I said, I'm all about correlations. What do you notice on the far left here? You're noticing the unemployment report was very strong. The ESs are up 40. Bonds are only down 11. Why are they only down 11? Because they've been keying off commodities. And if you look down here, soybeans, corn, and wheat are getting tattooed. That I always look at correlations. They work great. So I hope everybody's enjoyed this video. I hope you get a chance to try out the $5 trial. It's for 10 days. And I think it's pretty exciting. We've had literally hardly any cancellations. So people join and they don't seem to cancel, which is very flattering. So take care. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll talk to you later.